is what if something is a more permanent, economic harm, whether that be an injury that precludes you from doing what you used to do before, or some other, permanent injuries or whatever. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, you need some things to align. You need the doctors to align. You need the experts to align. So if the doctors and an occupational expert all agree that, this is the extent of the injury, the occupational expert talks about how an injury to that extent will impact your ability to do your job and what your occupational alternatives might be or might not be, then an economist can say, okay, well, this person has this type of injury. They're not able to put their body into this situation to work. So they're going to miss out on this much income over the rest of their lives. So those cases involve hiring the right experts, making sure that the doctors are in line. And again, that starts at the very beginning with clear communication from the patient to the doctor. And then when all those pieces come together, we have evidence to be able to show, okay, this person has a permanent injury. They're no longer able to do their job. They have 20 years worth of good work life remaining otherwise. And then we have an expert to show this would have been their income. This is what they're missing out on. And there's a huge difference between what we call a closed period of disability and an open period of disability. A closed period of disability is if, you're injured, you're having to miss work for a month, and then you're better, and then you go back to work. That period of disability is closed for a month. But if it's just indefinite, it's open, it's permanent for the remainder of one's life, there's a big difference between a month's worth of disability and 20 years.
Certainly.
And so, when we have clients come in on the front end and, people love to ask, what do you think about this case? What do you think I might be owed? What are my damages? And a lot of times in that initial consultation, our response is we have no idea. I mean, it could be, you could be better in a month. You might not ever be better. And until we know that, there's no way for us to draw a circle around the damages. So it's important that, the attorney and the client are kind of communicating through that process so that we know if we're presenting a case with that closed disability or, hey, we might have permanency here. This person got through the treatment. They're not better. We need to start putting together the evidence that we need to present that case. That's a lot different from a closed period case.
And whenever you're dealing with something permanent like that, there's so many variables. Mm-hmm. What an injury may affect, someone in our position a lot differently. I mean, we could lose the loss of our legs and still, practice law.
Yeah.
But someone may have a moderate knee injury, but that preclude them from doing their job. Mm-hmm. And given someone's work history and all of that kind of comes into fact there. So there's definitely a lot of moving parts with those kind of cases, and that's why it's good to bring in experts. I'm glad you discussed that. So we've